Gemini, how are you? Let's do a reading for your current energy, shall we? As always, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. Now, I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really do. And if you appreciate what I do here, help me out. Hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. It really makes a difference to my channel, and I would love to see my channel continue to grow. So help me make that happen. All right, let's see what's going on for all of my Gemini for the next 7 to 10 days. So I just saw the 8 of Wands. You know, here it is, bottom of the deck. I feel as if there's going to be a lot of communication, a lot of talk, a lot of, you know. So listen, you know, when we have that 8 of Wands, something is set in motion. And you just got to let those arrows fly, right? But let's see what's going on for all of my Gemini for the next 7 to 10 days. All right, so listen, there's a situation that you are dealing with right now that I feel as if you know that there's not a lot of hope for this turning out in the direction that you want it to turn. All right, especially with that 9 of Swords to that star card coming in reverse. All right, that 9 of Swords is a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety. This is a situation that I think you know, needs to come to a halt, it needs to come to an end. How that's going to happen, I don't know, but in your mind here with this 6 of Swords, you know, there's been a lot of troubled energy, there's been a lot of turbulence, and it is time for you to kind of figure out how to get out of this place that has left you so stressed and anxious. All right, when we have the 6 of Swords coming in like this, it says, you know, like, I've got to go in a direction that's going to bring me a little bit more peace, because I can't continue to be like this because it's affecting me in every way. And, you know, the thing is you see that there is no resolution to this, you know, so you're going to have to just resign yourself to the fact that this has just got to come to an end, whatever this is. And what I see here with this, you know, Knight of Cups coming in reversed, you know, you might be dealing with a situation here with this 2 of Cups also reversed where, you know, somebody just isn't serious. All right, you're very serious about what it is that's going on. You know, maybe you wanted to really have this great start with someone. Maybe the 2 of you are going to do something together, and it's not happening. All right, somebody is not wanting to like really commit in the way that you want them to commit. This could be, you know, a new endeavor that you have. We have the Page of Pentacles coming in here. And the Page of Pentacles usually says, you know, listen, I've got this idea, this coin, you know, where we could make some money, where we could do something. This would be really, really great. You know, why not do it, you know? And I feel as if, you know, the other person just is not on the same page. You know, here we have this King of Wands, you know, and on the table, he's looking backwards, you know, and he's just like, you know, I'm not that serious. I don't really want to do this, you know, and yet the other person is going to say, well, I do want to do it. So I feel like there's a push-pull kind of conflict energy here in regards to one person not wanting to be real serious about a situation and the other person being real serious. So what are we to do? What are we to do? We've got a lot of pages on the table, you know, so this could be around children, you know, maybe there is an issue around children and how we can, you know, maybe we want to have another kid, maybe we don't want to have another kid. How do we raise our kid? What's the best for our child? I mean, there could be all of that. With so many pages, I can't discount the fact that, you know, children could be involved. You know, and here in this table, in this card here, we do see someone in a boat with a child. You know, maybe some of you are feeling like maybe what I need to do is take the kids and go, especially if somebody is not putting in the energy and the effort into, you know, the marriage or into a prospect or a job that I want to do. You know, we do have the Page of Swords here as a final outcome. And look at his face. It's really angry. And I feel like this week you might reach a point of anger over this whole situation. You know, you have this really great idea. We've got the Page of Cups, you know, and here's that intuition, the little fish here, you know, saying, oh my gosh, I've got this really great idea, and they don't even want to hear me out. They don't want to listen. They're not hearing me. I have this really amazing, you know, idea here that could probably open the doors for everyone, and we could just have this wonderful happily ever after type of life. But, you know, it's just not working. It just feel like the other person is just not clicking. They're just not getting what it is you are trying to say. And here with this 2 of Cups in the near future, you know, I just feel that disconnect. you know, and I feel like, you know, at some point this week, you know, something's gonna blow, all right, especially with this guy's face so red, so angry, you know, and you want this to go away, all right, because we want these clouds that are behind us that have been looming in this whole situation to finally be done. And I think you finally reached that point where, you know what, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and either you hear me or you don't hear me, but this has got to finally come to an end, because I can't continue to try to make something work, and you know, I'm just not feeling like, you know, there is a partnership here, especially when one person is not serious and the other person is, you know. So now we're not on the same page, and we have a lot of pages. We're not on the same page, right? Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. We do have the Ten of Pentacles coming in here reversed, and we have the Judgment card below it, all right? So I feel like whatever the situation is, all right, it might need to just be put aside. All right, because I don't feel like there's a resolution right now. You know, especially with so many, you know, cards that are coming up, trying to get something started, and the other person is not really kind of processing it, you know. And with this Six of Swords, it says maybe we just need to take some space. Maybe we just need to like let this whole idea or whatever this is just kind of stop and settle down, you know, because it's not turning in the right direction. And, you know, it's like beating a dead horse. It's just like maybe, you know, we have to pick up this conversation, this thought, this idea, whatever it is, at a later time, because right now there is no resolution. I'm only getting angry, you know. And here with this Page of Swords, I do see that you are getting angry, you know, and I don't feel like anybody needs to let go of anything that they are really holding true to. What I feel like is right now, like, we're not hearing each other. We're not listening to each other. This is not going in a good direction. I'm really stressed, you know what? I'm feeling like there's no hope. There's no resolution, you know, so why should we continue? So I feel like, you know, when it comes to a discussion, you know, that, you know, you need to kind of get some clarity, and in order to find some peace of mind, you know, and you need to realize that, you know, maybe we're not on the same page, and maybe, you know, this final conversation, which ends in somebody really blowing up, will be what we need in order to turn the tables, because I do have the Wheel of Fortune coming in for us. It is upright, you know, and I just feel as if, you know, something needs to come to a head. Something needs to really blow in order for things to finally push through. Because it's almost as if, you know, you are so much engrossed in the problem that you can't see a solution. And I think the other person doesn't see a solution. You don't see a solution. Everybody's getting hurt. There's a lot of swords flying, you know, and when we have the Nine of Swords and we're so much stress and anxiety over situation that we don't see any hope, that maybe the best thing to do is to take some space. You know, it'll be good for everyone to just kind of back off, and let's kind of look at everything at a later date, because right now emotions are running so high that nobody is really coming from a grounded perspective. And, you know, we do have the Six of Wands coming in reverse. You know, it's a no-win situation if we move from a place of our emotions and not from a grounded perspective. So this is why I feel, you know, let's just kind of step back. Let's take some space. Let's each go into a place where we can stop, we can think, and we can really start to process what our next step is. So that's what I've got for you, Gemini. All right, please take what works, leave what doesn't. We all know who we are in the story. I sure appreciate each and every one of you. I really, really do. And if you appreciate me, hit that like button. Like, comment, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Really makes a difference to my channel. And I'd love to see my channel continue to grow. So with that being said, be happy, be healthy, be kind. Take the space, Gemini. And I will see you all at a later time. All right, with that being said, bye now.